Hey everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you Strum. This is a MIDI controller interface that I built using the Lemur app by Line. I'm pretty excited about some of the things that are possible with this tool. And so today I'm going to be just giving you kind of a lay of the land and showing you how you can apply this to playing certain instruments that I've dialed up using Ableton Live. So let's get started. So at the bottom here, you have an array of strings, which works just as you might expect. You strum your finger across, and the controller is going to send a rapid array of note ons and note offs every time your finger hits a certain one of these lit up bars. Now you might be wondering what controls exactly which pitches are available to you as you play the interface. Well, that's what this top section here is for. I like to think of this as a virtual fretboard. So basically what it's doing is you have 5 rows which are available to you, and you can program these rows in any way you want. So right now I have the top row, which is selected, set to a major triad. So what I have as I strum my finger is just a sequence of 3 pitches arranged in a major triad multiplied across 5 octaves. But if I want to change it to, say, a minor triad, that's very simple. All I have to do is select the minor third, and I have a minor chord there. So you can imagine, you can make absolutely any scale or chord you can think of using these boxes here. It's just really fun to play with, even if you have no music theory knowledge at all. You can make a scale. It's super, super simple. And I've also found, really fun to play with, say you want to improvise over a blues scale. No need to learn some complicated guitar fingering. You can just, dial in a blues scale here. And there you go. So lots of really fun possibilities to work with just in the scale setting here. Now, to expand this even further, what I've done is I've given you 5 separate scale controls, which you can toggle between real time as you perform. So it's really, really easy to, as you saw in the little example I did in the beginning, to just construct an entire song using nothing but the 5 selections that you have here, and then just like a guitarist would switch between different chord fingerings, you're able to do exactly the same thing using these buttons at the top left. Now, Strum has a lot of other possibilities when you're using it to control instruments that sound absolutely nothing like a guitar. So I'm going to show you what I did here with a very eerie synth here, just to give you an idea of some of the play modes that are possible. So if I dial in a whole tone scale, and right now I have it set to poly mode, which is the simplest. But if I take my finger here and set it to strum mode, I have programmed this to automatically sustain any notes that you have touched in a single finger stroke. So you can use this to get really kind of interesting cumulative effects. And then if you switch directions, it's going to stop all the notes and start over. So that's the strum mode. You also have a mono mode, which allows you to play only one note at a time. It's really good if you're gliding between pitches, or you want to do something like a bass or a lead sound. And then in any of these modes, you can use a sustain toggle, which just means that when you release your finger, nothing happens. And speaking of the sustain toggle, this is a really useful feature if you want to take advantage of the control parameter aspect of this instrument, which you may have noticed is something that I've been playing with. The vertical motion of these pink bars as you move your finger across the screen is actually something that you can use to map to a control parameter within your software instrument. So for example, right now I have mapped the height of this little pink bar to the detune control in my synth, which gives it a nice kind of pitch bend effect. So if I drag my finger across the whole tone scale again, you can create kind of fun things. And then if you release your finger completely and you let it go wild, this kind of built-in physics capability of the Lemur app allows you to do really weird things with these like LFO type wobbling effects. And then you can use the tension and friction controls to get different kinds of waves. Use the range control to make it go up and down. So, lots of really fun stuff to play with here when you're using instruments with sustain. You can also switch. I've been using the interface in 60 pitches mode, but you can actually change it to whatever resolution of notes you'd like. I have 48, 36, 24, and 12 if you want just one octave. For example, I'm going to play with a little wobble bass that I created in Massive the other day. I'm sick of whole tones, so I'm gonna do a little pentatonic stuff now. And this is a mono instrument, so I'm gonna select mono mode. And what I've done in this case is I've mapped the control parameter onto a filter frequency. So this is something you hear a lot in bass music, that LFO wobble of the bass. But the fun thing about playing it in Strum is you don't have to, you don't have to tie it to some computerized LFO that's very predictable sounding. You can actually control it in real time using your finger and improvise rhythms as you go along. So if I want to play, you can get really fun free sounding stuff with it. And even if you use it in sustain mode, you can kind of have the wobble keep going as you mess with it. So lots of fun creative possibilities there. I've also used this tool to play chords. Just used it basically as an alternative to a keyboard. So if you program a diatonic scale, you'll see the keys look exactly like the black and white notes on a keyboard. And I'm just gonna pull up here a arpeggiated synth and poly mode here. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically, I have a chord that's just arpeggiating. And what I like about this tool is that instead of having your hands, constricted to pressing down a certain, pattern of keys on the keyboard, you're basically just gliding the notes up and down as you go. And it means you don't have to worry so much about when you're lifting your fingers and putting them back down. I find it's actually a lot easier to play chords this way. I have the vertical control mapped to this strange kind of synth. Strange kind of effects rack. And so, this is just really fun because, the voice leading can be super intuitive because you're just moving one pitch at a time and going up and down the scale. So I'm definitely going to have some fun with that later on. I guess, that's about all I wanted to cover today. So you got your strings, you got your fretboard, you got your play mode, you got your controls to give you some variation in the way that the control parameter is mapping. You got your sustain mode, you got your octave resolution. There's a whole lot you can do with this instrument, and I just finished it, so I'm really excited to kind of just build it into my studio and make some music on it. And I hope that some of you out there will do the same. I included a link to where you can download this module, and also a link to the Line website where you can learn more about Lemur, which I just think is a really fantastic creative tool for musicians who want to really get under the hood and create instruments which take advantage of all of this marvelous technology that is at our fingertips in this day and age. I'm signing off now, and have a great day and have fun with Strum.